What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be diving on into The Way, which is a spin-off of Ash of Gods, which if you never got a chance to play it, was actually a pretty cool little strategy game. They used a lot of rotoscoping type animation and whatnot for it. It was kind of one of those weird games that released, and in a lot of ways it kind of like played similar and felt similar and looked similar to the Banner Saga. But it was like a lot more high fantasy, I guess. There was a lot more magic and other stuff going on with it. But either way, it was a really good-looking game. It had a fantastic aesthetic that looked really great. They're publishing a spin-off now called The Way, which is kind of an odd little auto-battler, I guess is the best way I know how to describe it. So basically, combat takes place on lanes, and you deploy different units to those lanes to attack and defend, and the goal is to break through the enemy's lanes and get to their character and kill them, basically. So they've put a demo out for this. You can look down below in the description, and I'll have a link for you. This demo is publicly available to everybody. They're doing kind of, I guess, suggestion collection and kind of bug QA and all that kind of stuff. And so they put out a demo to kind of get people excited and then also to get feedback and all that kind of stuff. We're going to dive on in today for about 25 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I have a link for you down below. And then on top of that, you can also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. Did I repeat myself? I think I might have repeated myself. I'm slipping. You know, you do something on the internet for 10 years, you start slipping. All right, let's start a new game and let's go ahead and give it a run.
This is our Burkana, my boy. 20 years ago, we forged an uneasy peace with the Frisian legions that sought to subjugate us. Then the war let up, leaving only ruins, fire, and the taste of ashes in its wake, depriving many of their homes and their families. It was then that I found you. A small, frightened child completely unlike you today, Finn. You've grown up now. But I want you to remember what happened to your parents. Because war will return. The Frisians have groomed new and talented commanders. They did this using a game developed by their best strategists to teach young aristocrats tactics and the art of war. Only by proving their tactical prowess can Frisian nobles achieve respect and a high rank. This way, only the best of the best make their way into the command. Soon Frisia will be ready for another war. But Burkana isn't ready yet. We need time, Finn, and we must buy some. I raised you in Burkana's greatest military traditions. Now, I want to initiate you into Frisia's. I have a plan. Let's play.
This is The Way, Finn. The very game that the Frisians use to train their commanders. We've paid with many lives to get our hands on it. I don't understand how it's going to help us prevent the inevitable. You'll understand with time, but for now, pay attention and remember, the game is deceptively simple. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and skip most of this stuff, and then I'll kind of like tell you what's going on. It wants me to deploy a soldier for right now. But basically, you divide things up into turns. Every single turn, you can play a soldier, and you can play a modifier from up top. And then, once you do that and you end your turn, your soldiers will move, and then they will attack, and they all have different ranges, and they all have different abilities. For example, our guy has rolled up on this little peasant dude right here and smackinated him, and now he's doing like a celebratory sword whip, as one tends to do when you strike blood from the enemy. They want me to place a monk right here. The monk is a healer unit. Whoever the monk is behind, he will cast a magic spell on them and heal them back up. On the right, you've got the HP of the card, and on the left, you've got the attack of the character. Now, we can finish the fight however we want from here. That's good. We'll go ahead and we'll place a Blade Master right here. You always deploy your units inside this little deployment zone right here, and he does the same with his. Looks like they're working their way around us. My Blade Master just did a stellar job getting stabbed in the face, so good for you. I don't really... What does the Warlock do? Does the Warlock do anything interesting? I'm going to deploy a Warlock, dude. Let's lock down this war. He deals 7 damage is what he does. Alright, fair enough. Man, he one-shotted that guy. Then he dusted off his hands, and he was like, meh, it's a living. All right, we can deploy some rangers and stuff. These guys are ranged. They can fire. I know, their name is Ranger. I know. But anyways, they can fire over the shoulders of guys in front of them with their bows. And so right here, we've completed our first combat. We got 50 gold, and we got an item called the Herbalist Pouch. It'll allow me to put 4 regeneration on any of my warriors that I want to. Now that you know the basics, but you need to become a master, you need to learn every detail. Every year, the Frisian nobility holds tournaments where only the most worthy challengers get the chance to fight the commanders of the army. If we can get that far, we have a chance to take them out. I want you to do this. Me? That's nuts. It's suicide. The Frisians are going to hang me as soon as they find out I'm Berkennen. We will teach you to be Frisian. You have the right look and a sharp mind. But I understand if you refuse. Aren't there more like experienced challengers? You're young and inexperienced, that's true, but your age is our advantage. No one is going to pay any mind to a young unknown aristocrat, and there are many at every tournament. You know I'm always ready to help you, Uncle, but this... I know I asked too much of you, but the Frisians start a war, and many people will die. Remember what they did to your parents, Finn. Oh, I remember, and I hate them with all my heart. Then this is your chance to avenge them and save your country. All right, you're right. It's my duty to you, my parents, and to Berkana. Tell me what I must do. I'm ready. Thank you, my boy. It means a lot. Let's not waste any time, and let's focus on the game. The next lesson's going to be a little bit harder. All right, so we also have cards up here that allow us to put modifiers either on the battlefield or on our characters themselves, or they allow us to do things that otherwise we would not be able to accomplish with just the characters themselves. It wants me to play a Blade Master, so I'll go ahead and put her right there. And then it wants me to put a century-old amulet on her that's going to increase her HP by 7. There you go, a little bit more right there. I do like the way that the UI is wonderfully well animated, and I do think that the characters actually look pretty fantastic. Now, because he's on a side lane right there, we can actually shift any of our units from any lane that we want. And so we can actually just swap her back over to there, and then we can reinforce her with a ranger so that we get like a nice double tap going. We're not really going to need it because she one-taps on her turn. But anyways, for the case of the tutorial, it's forcing me to like play around with the various cards and whatnot. We'll go ahead and move her back over here too to block him. And as you can see, our archer's going to go up. He's going to score a little bit of damage against the commander. It's going to be a little bit of a swipe right there, but we're going to shake it off. It's just an axe blow to the head. That's nothing that can stop a Berkennen. All right, so we are going to put a ranger right there who's going to move up and advance and hopefully get some shots off over there. We're going to buff up his damage a little bit more because we're getting into one-tap territory on their commander. And it looks like we're actually just kind of like streaming through right now. They don't appear to have a whole lot that's actually like speed bumping our forces. I'm just going to go ahead and pass, and we'll finish this fight off, and down they both go. Another victory for us, and we've got a new character, the Enforcer. So this character breaks one of the target's items every time he deals damage. So basically, he strips buffs. Then he's also got Armor Break 3, which allows him to reduce an opponent's armor by 3 and then deal damage afterwards. He's also got a pretty good HP pool and pretty good attack. Very nice. I do like the fact that the game is energyless. Like, you can't imagine how bored I am with just kind of the idea of energy and cards, dude. Like, that old Slay the Spire loop. Like, I really wish anything with cards or, like, a grid or whatever else would really start divorcing themselves from really aping Slay the Spire, because it's getting trite at this point. You're doing well, Finn. Real battles in Frisia are nothing like our harmless little game. Frisians play with real people in the tournament. People? That's disgusting. I know, but it's their way. Every sacrifice is real. The Frisian commander must know the price of victory. I'll also have to play with people and kill them? Yes. But sometimes you make hard choices. Choose a lesser evil. After all, war will claim far more lives. I know, Uncle. It's just taking somebody's life over a game. For the Frisians, it's more than any game, my boy. You need to accept that. The stakes are too high. Now, let's look at the map. Our target is the 3 border regions of Frisia. Major tournaments are going to be held there. They begin in just under 3 months. That's how much time you have left to become a true Frisian aristocrat and convince the king that you've mastered the game. The king? You're gonna present me to King Ho? Without his approval, our mission cannot happen. That's why it's so important for you to know him, or to show him that you can do it. On the king's permission, we organized a small tournament with conditions similar to those you might encounter with the Frisians. It's all for real. Even the murders? No. Frisians use criminals, slaves, and warriors for the spectacle. They're all state property. But we aren't Frisians. We don't spill blood for nothing. At least not in this tournament. Well, in that case, I'm ready, I guess. Come, I'll present you to the king. Your Majesty, thank you for agreeing to help. I agreed to this tournament, Ike, but it cost me, and I still don't fully understand exactly why we need it. It's for Finn's training. With his help, we can execute my plan. Your plan, it's suicide. If I wanted to get rid of you, I'd order you beheaded. It'd be faster and cheaper. I'm sure Finn can convince you. Give him a chance. The tournament will prove that I'm right. So this is your ward, Your Majesty? And how did they convince you to take part in this crazy plan, Finn? Money, women, torture? Vengeance. The Frisians killed my parents and they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay for the nightmares that still haunt me. Father told me we should forgive our enemies, but only after sending them to their graves. And when I find the one who killed my father, I too shall have someone to forgive. Are you sure you want to risk your life, Finn? The things the Frisians can do to you. I can handle it. Well, have it your way, Ike. If your work can impress me, I'll agree to the plan. Thank you, Your Majesty. Don't disappoint me, Finn. I will watch your progress in the tournament closely. Did you hear the king, my boy? It's up to you. But I'm going to try to help you. Get your things. We're going to go to the tavern on the old road. The tavern? Isn't it kind of early to celebrate? My old friend Kleta is there. He's one of the people who stole the way, and you will have to be convincing in order to get his help. What must I convince him of? That our plan isn't crazy, that you are the person for the job. Okay, I'll convince him. Just remember, Kleta's manners are far from refined, but he's mastered the game over many years of observation and can give you valuable advice. I'm ready, Uncle. Ike, you hardly ever humor me with a visit. Decided to try out that crazy plan? You're correct as usual, old friend. We're here on business. I'm teaching Finn the game, and we need your help. Finn, you dragged him into this, you old fool? What does the king think? That I seek a way to end my life bravely. Not just your own stump. You're throwing a chick into a wolf's den. Your plan is shit, Ike. It's worse than freezing ale and Frisian whores, and nothing's worse than that. Why are you so quiet, kid? Do you realize that this guy's trying to drag you into? What do you think? I can do it. Don't be a fool. You think you can handle the game? How long has he been teaching you? A week? A month, maybe? Those Frisian bastards hone their mastery over years to sacrifice innocent people in cold blood with sober mind. We've no choice. If we do nothing, we may not survive the next war. I need help. Yeah, and what am I supposed to do about it? Test the boy, Kleta. He might surprise you. Okay, Hopa Burkana. Show me what you've got. I think this is where it's actually going to cut us free and allow us to kind of like do what we will. Alright, so I'm going to start out strong center lane with a Guardian. There you go. Move on forward, you Boromir-looking dude. Go get it done. I could buff him up, but I think actually I'm just going to wait and see what they play. So he's played a Guardian that's a little bit off to the adjacency right there. I think we have an opportunity. We're going to slide into that spot. We're going to guard sword you so that you get a little bit of extra attack right there. And then I can still deploy a Blade Master, but let's commit to this lane right here because we can get basically we'll use the melee guy to clear, and then the archer will stay here while he breaks off into whatever lane he needs to break off to in order to defend. All right, 6 damage out. Okay, another little, I mean, that basically accomplished nothing, so that's kind of a bummer. Is he, like, immune to arrows? Is that what happened there? He's got a Warlock on that side, which I hate everything about. Armor 2, item limit, protection from shooters. Okay, so I was not aware of that ability. So apparently the guy with the shield, I know, the guy with the shield can block arrows. What a fantastical concept. And I think it's probably time to move him wide then. And we'll just kind of take our chances. We've got a centuries-old amulet right here. Let's go ahead and buff him up with a little bit more HP on that center lane. and then we'll decide what we want to do with everything else. I'm actually, like, marveling at the animation in this game. It looks really, really good. Like, it is pleasing to the eye in a way that very few games are. I mean, I think the Banner Saga, like, roundly falls into that category, but there's sort of a smoothness to the interactivity here and some of the idle animations and the way that they, like, taunt each other and the way that they strike and recover from a strike. It looks good. Like, it's obviously like a video game animation, but they've got just enough subframes in there to make it look smooth enough that you're like, ooh, that looks kind of nice. I'm gonna put an archer over here. And he is more than likely going to go down, but I can use Inspiration to give everybody 3 attack on this turn. So I'll go ahead and do that. We've got a breakthrough on that side. We got a breakthrough right there as well. Arrows out, took care of the Warlock, so we're in solid shape. He took a little bit of damage right there, and he's now stunned, but he was going to die anyways, so, like, no biggie, no harm, no foul. I would like... Let's go ahead and play this center lane right here. We'll put a Blade Master right there to defend. This guy's still got a little bit till he breaks on through, but we've got pretty much clearance to make like a long dash straight at the enemy at the moment. So I think it's going to be okay. He's down to 1 HP. Archer one-shotted his peasant on that side. We got a little bit of damage to the Blade Master, but this turn should be a wrap actually, so I'm just going to let it ride. There we go. All nice and done. $200 right there. Looks good. Okay, not a bad start, but that was an easy battle. The slowest Frisian knuckle dragger Martinet could have handled that. Let's make it harder and see how you do. Oh, they widen the grid a little bit. Okay. I'm playing with a commander who can heal his fighters at the cost of his own health. Let's see how you're going to work through it. Okay. We will start strong with a Blade Master right there, slightly off center, just to see how they deal with it. Okay, so he played a Guardian right there. His Guardian's going to move for an attack and hurt me if I don't block, so we'll go ahead and block right there. I'm going to go ahead and give a Guard Sword to her since she's got a straight runway for a 14 damage hit, which is fantastic, which is going to further punish if he decides to spend his HP in order to buff up his boys. And so we'll just kind of let them skirmish in the middle, and we'll see what he decides to do. I think that by itself, this Blade Dancer should get a lot done. Why he chose to play right there instead of playing right there, I'm not decidedly sure. We'll play a Warlock right there, but this should be the end of the turn. It shouldn't matter because we've got 17 damage right there. And so we, like, 2TK'd him, man. We 2TK'd him hard. He wasn't really prioritizing blocking. He was just putting units, like, in random places. Not bad. Boy's not as simple as he looks, Ike. I'm glad he's able to surprise you, old friend. Does our plan still seem impossible? The plan's still crazy. That said, your chances of succeeding are higher than I thought. Take my commander card, Finn. You're going to need it more than me and learn to use it wisely. Okay, so we've got a new commander. This commander can heal a unit at the cost of his own health, but not more than 10. Okay. And here, one more small prize. I think you've earned it. Soul Extraction. Okay, can only be used if you have a mage on the battlefield. Deals 6 damage to your opponent's commander. Your commander gains 6 health. Oh, so that's got like kind of a nice synergy right there with what we've got going on. Thank you. How do you feel about coming with us to Frisia, Kleta? We'll need your help. You sly devil. This is your plan the whole time, huh? Recruit me, and I just started a well-deserved vacation after spending an eternity in Frisia among enemies and shitty ale. You want to deprive me of a peaceful life and throw me back to the wolves? Come on, Kleta. You don't want the peaceful life. And your peaceful life will end anyways when the Frisians inevitably start a war. Help us or people are going to die. I'd ignore you fools normally, but you bastards will just die in Frisia without me. You'll need somebody with some brains to tell you what to do. So you're with us then. You'll return to Ursus? I'm with you, but only if you promise to find me a decent tavern. After all, we need to discuss our strategy somewhere, right? True enough, old man, and I know just the place. You're gonna love it. They have the best ale in all of Burkana. Stop singing like a lark and show us where the road's at, Ike. The ale can speak for itself. Yep, this is my kind of tavern. I hope I like the local ale as well, but first to business. Come here, I want to teach you something. Alright, so we get to take a look and we can fiddle around with our actual deck composition so that like we have a better chance of pulling the things that we want to pull. So we can only have 10 guys inside of here. Okay, and so they're divided up by faction as well. All right, we'll replace a ranger with an enforcer. That sounds like a pretty good plan, actually. I probably would have replaced a guardian with an enforcer, just me personally, but, you know, whatever. Over here in our support deck, we've got the herbalist, and we're going to put it in for the Strix earrings, I guess. And then we can swap in our commander card as well. So there we go. The task is simple. Don't let your character get killed by using items in your commander ability. Alright. We'll put you on in there. He's got like a stylish headband. How come I've never had a stylish headband? That's it. This weekend I gotta go to the store and I gotta acquire a stylish 80s heavy metal Conan headband. And that's gotta be my new thing on the internet. That's just it. That's gotta be the new thing that I'm into. Headbands. Stylish Conan headbands. Alright, he's got 19 HP. Oh, hello. Alright, fair enough. I like how he got like a little booty scritch in right there just to make sure. So I've got to break through all of this in order to make it happen. Okay, so he's got a guard sword. We should break that though because that's one of the abilities that he has. And then apparently it's got like an item history as well. Alright. I don't really want to play my commander ability just yet, because he's got like 5 damage. He's got 3 damage, so he should be good. Does he regenerate right now, or does he regenerate like at the end of his turn? At the start of your turn. Okay, so we may still need to get him a little bit jazzed up. There we go. Nice. He broke some armor. He broke that guy's attack item, so now he only attacks for 1. This should like pretty much resolve itself. And then now that he's got the herbalist regeneration on him, we should be able to just kind of like auto-pass all this. I do like how every single unit has an individual attack animation. Like they didn't recycle anything this entire time. And so like the Blade Master has a different attack animation than the Enforcer, has a different attack animation than the Guardsman. I appreciate that. That's actually, like, it's so easy with games like this to just take the rotoscoping or whatever and just do like one capture of a sword swing and apply that to every single unit that has a melee weapon, and instead they didn't go that way. They actually individually captured the weight of the swing for each unit. I like that sort of attention to detail. It brings me pleasure. You're doing quite well, Finn. I hope this will help you at the tournament. Don't embarrass me. I'll watch carefully and help whenever I can. I'm gonna have a mug of beer first. Let's see if that's as good as your mentor told me it would be. Well, time to get to the tournament, but you still have time if you want to study your deck or change something around. Leave the tavern when you're ready. I do like these little animated localities, too. They look nice. All right, what does a Crusher do? This character counterattacks the opponent. They can equip a maximum of 3 items, and they reduce the enemy's armor by 2. Yeah, we'll swap him in for a Guardian. That sounds good. Just give us a little bit more variability. I do like the Blade Masters. So apparently she's like a minigun. She spins up. As far as support goes, what does the Strix earring do? Oh, it's just a better version of what they gave me. Okay. If I have a mage on the battlefield, I can use that, which is kind of an interesting option. I'll swap it in for shock, I think. And then... Actually, I think I'm fairly happy with where I'm at right now. Let's go ahead and roll with it. The Berkana Tournament. Ooh, I like these. Like, it's so... In so many ways, it looks so much incredibly like the Banner Saga that for, like, these brief moments, it's like the color palette, it's the pastels they used, like, it's like everything. Like, every time I catch myself looking at backgrounds and whatnot and thinking that I'm playing the Banner Saga for a second, then I'm like, oh yeah, this is Ash of Gods. Welcome to the Berkana Tournament. It looks impressive, but I don't know anything about the rules. That's the hardest part. The rules change every battle, sometimes even in the middle of a fight if your opponent wills it. I don't understand. How is that fair? Of course not, but the purpose of the game is to prepare future commanders for war, which means the challenger must display tactical flexibility and be able to adjust to any situation. Be ready for unpleasant surprises. You think I can do it? You're a clever and talented kid, Finn. You learn quick and aren't afraid to make decisions. Those are the qualities of a good commander. Besides, I've also given you an excellent military education. I believe it is no worse than what they teach in Frisia. Where should I start? These battles are the qualifying round. You can replay them as many times as you like to get familiar with the rules and experiment. Challengers who get through the qualifiers will get the opportunity to fight for real in the more difficult battles, but I'll tell you about that later. First, pass the qualification. Okay. Can I keep that open right there so I can, like... There we go. It looks like he's got armor break, too, so he's got raiders. I don't really have a whole lot of armor, though, so I don't think it's going to matter. Highway robbery. Your commander loses 5 HP when you play this card. Can only be used if an allied bandit is present. Deals 3 damage to an enemy character for every allied bandit. Oh, that's not good. So I need to kind of, like, take care of crowd control here. Otherwise, I'm going to end up in over my head when he plays that ability and nukes me. All right. Yeah, I'll replace the Blade Master. Didn't really want the Warlock, so bandits use poison-laced weapons. If a unit with a poison attack deals 1 damage to your unit, it'll die. Enemies with poison weapons have a drop symbol next to their attack value. Okay. Does the monk heal it off? We'll play a Crusher over on that side. I don't much see the point in buffing his HP. Oh, I should have played the monk. I thought that my character was a monk that was already pre-deployed. He's not. Okay, I thought I already had a monk, so that was a misplay. It doesn't look like there's an undo button either. Yep, doesn't look like there's an undo button. Weak. Okay. Could be problematic. He only deals 1 damage, though, so, like, he can't even get through the armor on, like... Can he? Health plus 1, attack increases by 2. Go ahead and buff him up, I guess. Yeah, we'll give him some armor so that 1 damage doesn't get through. Okay, deploy to Spearman, move that guy to the outlane. No damage dealt right there, so we don't have to worry about the poison. Unfortunately, our Crusher got. So, like... We're going to take a little bit of damage on one side. I'm going to play the Enforcer real quick. And we will... give him the Veteran's Ring. How did he deal 13 damage? Oh, is it because he has a poison thing on his spear? I didn't notice the little poison icon. Oh, he does. He poisoned his spear. What a douche. Okay, we're losing pretty bad right now then. All right, fair enough. We're going to break through that center lane, though, and they're going to have to think about what they want to do after that gets done. Yeah, it looks like he didn't have the poison icon, so he played an ability on him. Yeah, he played an ability on him that allowed him to insta-poison my guy and kill him. Okay. Well, there's no point buffing HP if people can't get through, but I need this guy to die on this turn, so I'm going to give him 4 attack, because we need to start, like, seizing the field. Oh, he didn't make it all the way up. Gotcha. Okay, well, at least he's not spamming poison abilities anymore, so I can live with that. And we have another Warlock. I suggest we play him right there. Just a little bit of a block over on this side. I'm going to run Inspiration real fast so that our damage values go up for 1 turn. And we'll march everybody in. We should score a couple of kills, which should get the board back in our favor. Yeah, I just didn't notice that he was playing abilities that were putting poison on people. I thought the poison was going to be like an innate thing that was included in the character, but he was playing like little magic spells that were putting poison on people's weapons and allowing them to one-tap stomp. So, you know, fair enough. We'll go ahead and continue. I think this side is going to hold just fine, and he can't get there very quickly, so it doesn't matter. He's going to clear on this side, and we should be able to break through and get some damage off very, very shortly. Okay, Warlock's almost down, so we'll try to think of a way to get him patched up. And in fact, I have a way. So there you go. Get patched up, buddy. Alright, so he's got a kill right there. He's going to move through. He's got a kill right there. I actually think we're kind of golden. We'll just, like, pre-prep this lane right here. Sweet. We're broken through. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Ash of Gods, The Way. Tomorrow we will very likely have something else. I appreciate you stopping on in because this is just an early demo. I'm not going to give too many thoughts about qualitative analysis, but I will say I adore the aesthetic. I think it looks really, really fantastic at the cost of looking a lot like the Banner Saga, which I think some people are probably going to call out. That being said, it does diversify a little bit when it comes to the actual art that's displayed on the cards. And honestly, like, I can't, like, get angry at any game that uses rotoscoping, because rotoscoping is one of those animation skills that I think has really kind of gone the way of the buffalo over the last 50 years, because it produces very high quality animation, but it's also very expensive to do. Like, you've got to have the equipment in order to do proper rotoscoping. And so anyways, I tend to support just about anything that uses rotoscoping just because it's an art form that I very much admire, and I hope that it will propagate and become popular again. If you ever wondered why old Disney movies look so much more smooth and fluid than like the later animated movies, it's because of the rotoscoping. That's why they always kind of looked so natural. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the Indie Skillet. Bye, everybody.